Here we are, we're back again for another video. And today we're recapping the last few days worth of moves and trades and delisting and everything in the NBA offseason. It's been quite a few days, that's why there hasn't been the daily video. But we have a few moves and a few things to talk about. So, starting off, the Houston Rockets have waived centre Jock Landale. As already talked about previously on this channel, the Rockets did pick up Clint Capella from the Atlanta Hawks. It's a good pickup for them, and it's just really meaning that Jock Landale isn't going to get any time in their team. So they don't see there's much point having him on a team, and they expect him to be able to go to another team, and they're allowing him to go to another team rather than just to sit that bench and do absolutely nothing. I don't mind this. I am a Jock Landale fan, as he is Australian, and I'm always going to be a fan of every Australian NBA player, but I just, I hope he gets to a good situation. Then Jackson Hayes, 1 year deal to return to the Lakers. I did not think in every single universe, every single option, I didn't think there was a single chance Jackson Hayes was going to return. He had a dreadful finish to the postseason. Sure, he was okay during the regular season after they traded Anthony Davis, but he was dreadful. He was played off the floor. Rudy Gobert was giving them 20 plus points and 20 plus rebounds in that closeout game, and he was still sitting there in his warm-up shirt just watching the game. It's just a feeling, and it's just a relationship I wouldn't want to be returning to if I was Jackson Hayes or if I was the Los Angeles Lakers. But they do get him on a backup behind DeAndre Ayton, so I don't mind it. It could be worse and it could be better. Then moving on, Jabari Walker has signed a two-way deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. It doesn't really do too much for me. He did, the bare minimum at the least for the Portland Trail Blazers. And now he moves over to the Philadelphia 76ers, where he will continue to do the bare minimum. It's just a deal to report on, but it's not a deal that's needed. It's not something you'll forget about in 2 days. It's something I forgot about since it happened, to be honest with you. Mo Wagner, 1 year, $5 million, where he gets his no trade clause. I believe that no trade clause now works that anybody who signs a third 1 year deal in a row with the same team gets a no trade clause. That's why Jackson Hayes has a no trade clause in his role this year, upcoming for the Lakers, and now Mo Wagner has the no trade clause. He did his ACL in December. He's going to be out for a few months, the first few months of this season, but he had a great year. He was shooting a decent percentage from three, averaging 13 points off the bench, and he was one of the leaders in the Sixth Man of the Year award. Like, he wasn't a leader, but he was up there, and he was playing a very pivotal role for the Magic. 1 year for him, only $5 million. It's a good deal for someone who's coming off the bench and can contribute for Orlando, who are hoping to make a splash this year and get past the first round. Then, news just yesterday. This is good news that I like for Cam Whitmore being traded to the Wizards for 2 second-round picks. I've read that they were offered better things. They offered him to Phoenix. Phoenix said they'd prefer just picks over players, and the Rockets didn't care. The Rockets have sent him to the Wizards, and I'm all for this. They knew he wasn't going to crack minutes in their rotation after trading Durant and Dorian Finney-Smith, so I'm all for this. I'm a fan of this, and he gets a chance to learn under some great vets in Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart over there, Bradley Beal, not so much, over there in Washington. He probably won't come off the bench, but he will have so much of a bigger role. He will actually have a role, unlike he really did with the Rockets last year. And if he was still on the Rockets coming into this season, he would not be getting any playing time. So I'm a big fan of this. This is a great pickup for the Rockets. Only 2 second-round picks for Cam Whitmore, who is a good player, and he is a high scorer for someone who comes off the bench. Then, moving on. I don't understand this trade for the Grizzlies. Actually, I do. Let me reframe. They've traded center Jay Huff, the Huff stuff, to the Pacers for 1 second-round pick and 1 second-round pick swap. Bit of a nothing trade. I don't mind the Huff stuff over there on the Grizz, but they've traded him to the Pacers. The Pacers have picked up another center since losing Miles Turner, of course, to the Milwaukee Bucks. And then the Grizzlies have gone and signed Jock Landale. So there's more front court depth there for the Grizzlies, as Jock Landale he may get some minutes. They've got a few. Jaren Jackson Jr., they've got Santi Aldama, they've got Zach Edey, they've got some big man minutes. I'm not sure why Jock Landale would pick a team like that. I would have loved him to come to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he would have actually got a run. But I don't mind the Jock Landale pickup for the Memphis Grizzlies, but the J Huff to the Pacers, I do like. He's a better caliber starting center than Thomas Bryant. I'm not sure if they'll start him or Thomas Bryant, as Thomas Bryant can and has shown in the postseason that he can stretch the floor. But J Huff has as well, shooting 41% from 3 last year in his 64 games. It's not too bad. He can score the ball okay. He's not the greatest rebounder, though, which I suppose Miles Turner wasn't a great rebound either, so they're not taking too much of a hit. And he did average nearly a block in 12 minutes, so expect his stats to go up this upcoming season. Then we have the finalized details of the Kevin Durant trade. There is a lot of players. It's nothing new, but we've got a 7-team trade. There's just Brooklyn getting 2 seconds, the Lakers getting a Duthiero, the Phoenix getting Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Carmen Maluach, Rasheed Fleming, Kobe Bryant, blah, 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 blah. The only thing that matters is Kevin Durant and Clint Capella are going to Houston. That's some big pickups from Houston. Some great pickups for Houston. I expect that to continue to develop and to be a great joining there. Then we move on to the big news I was talking about at the start of this episode. Jonas Valanciunas had been heavily rumoured to not fulfil his contract and to go overseas to play in Europe. He didn't want to play behind Nikola Jokic by the looks of it. He wanted to go play in Europe. Denver has informed Valanciunas' reps that the franchise fully intends him to honour his contract and to play for the Nuggets. They don't expect him to go over to the Greek team. I don't want to butcher this. Panathinaikos. I've butchered that. I'm sorry, any Greek fans here, but they've moved Valanciunas here, and they were hoping it'd be a great pickup, and now it just leaves you to wonder: is this going to hinder the relationship between the Denver Nuggets and Jonas Valanciunas? Jonas Valanciunas, they expected to play a big role. They expected him to fill minutes in Jokic's absence. They haven't had a big man to do that practically in the last few years. You could almost argue ever. This was a great pickup for them. I was thrilled and very, very pleasantly surprised with the amazing offseason Denver had. And now you've got this boiling down. Does Valanciunas show up? Does he even want to play in Denver? Does he not have a work ethic? Does he play like shit over there? And it stuffs him over. I'm not sure. Then next, the only news that has come out today, really, and news that is not really much. Ryan Rollins returns to the Milwaukee Bucks. They just re-signed another player, 3 years, $12 billion. Re-signed another guard, which I don't mind, but once again, Ryan Rollins is a name that Giannis goes, ooh, now I want to stay in Milwaukee. I can tell you, he would not give a shit about that. Who would care that Ryan Rollins has re-signed to their team? It's not really anything. So Milwaukee re-signing players and they're keeping a roster, but still a very disappointing team. And then lastly, some news I don't believe I had touched on, surprisingly. We got Larry Nance Jr. re-signing to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Something I don't mind. My Cavaliers did need a backup center. They've picked one up there in Larry Nance Jr. He's a smaller center, but he can stretch the floor. He's obviously played there in Cleveland before. He quite clearly loves it in Cleveland with his family heritage there. And I just think picking up someone like Larry Nance Jr. is just good. He'll play. He'll fill minutes. He'll allow Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, even though Jared Allen probably won't want to, but he'll allow them to take rest throughout the season as he is a playable center. And I think his ability to stretch the floor will really help the Cavs. They'll be able to play smaller ball lineups where they could play Mobley at the 5, and then you could play Larry Nance Jr. at the 4, or you could go even smaller than that, have Mobley and Allen both off the bench, have Larry Nance Jr. playing a small ball 5 with possibly a DeAndre Hunter lineup there. And I just think it's a good move for the Cavs. There's some good moves today, but the real question is, what is going to happen, with the Jonas Valanciunas and Denver Nuggets situation? So until that's figured out, we're just going to have to, sit back and just wait and see, I suppose. Thank you.